Technology is an ever-evolving resource for teachers these days. Teachers are able to use the new Google Classroom for many, many things, and this is what we're going to talk about today. I am Jennifer Brewer, and I'm going to go through a little bit about the Google Classroom. Google collaborated with educators across the United States to create a multi-use tool for teachers, students, and even parents to use as an asset in their students' school career. The online function is easy to use. Teachers can manage their coursework, assign work to their students, grade the work, and even send feedback to the students. The parents are able to assess their students' work, see what the students have been doing, so on and so forth. We'll get into that more in a second. Like I mentioned, teachers, students, and parents are the main participants in Google Classroom. Like I said, teachers are able to basically run the classroom. Students are able to access the classroom to complete their work, ask questions if they have any to their teacher, work together, collaborate with their students, and just get the most out of their school careers. And parents are able to see all of this as it's going on and help as needed. One very, very handy tool about Google Classroom is that teachers are able to sign in anywhere. They can sign in from an iPhone or Samsung device, any type of smartphone, tablet, desktop, iPad, any sort of technological device, teachers can sign in. That makes managing their coursework even more simple. If they're not at their desk, they're able to sign in and check their coursework or manage their coursework wherever they're at. Teachers are able to create these assignments and post them for student use. There are even discussion portals on the Google Classroom to where teachers can discuss with the students regarding the coursework, regarding any questions they might have, and so on. And teachers are also able to give feedback on specific student work or to students regarding their work in general. Some of the creative things that I have researched about teacher use in Google Classroom is that teachers are able to communicate with students who might be more hesitant to talk in the classroom. Suppose a child is excessively shy. It might be slowing them down in the classroom because they have an important question, but they are too timid to speak up. This teacher can then talk to this student through Google Classroom, even privately, so that they are addressing the issues that need to be addressed, but it is private and less intimidating than speaking to a teacher in front of the classroom or even face-to-face. That's a cool hack that teachers are able to use Google Classroom for. And also, differentiation is extremely simple in Google Classroom. Teachers are able to create their classes in groups based on a by need section. For instance, a student on a much lower grade level, learning level, could be in a classroom with less extensive coursework, and then the same goes for a student on a higher learning level. These groups can help the teacher assess what needs to be given to which student, and the students aren't overloaded with more than they can handle. There is even a digital parking lot, as I've heard it called, for students to ask questions if they have any to their teacher. It's basically like a chat room, an online chat room inside Google Classroom that teachers are able to answer questions that are asked by their students. And Google Classroom even has a portal that teachers can create their sub-work folder and even a makeup folder for students who have missed, or for a sub to access while this teacher is absent, and just make that very accessible for the substitute and for the students who have missed. That way nobody falls behind, nobody has any extra questions, and everything's just really neat and organized. Students have the same ability to sign in anywhere they are as a teacher. They can sign in on their cell phone, their tablet, their desktop, anywhere they are, they're able to sign into Google Classroom to where they may stay up to date on their assignments and hopefully don't fall behind with that. There's even a feature that teachers can put on quizzes to put it in lock mode to help prevent distraction while students are testing, Sometimes students have test anxiety, and it can cause unnecessary failure on a quiz or a test because they have too much distraction or too much going on. So these quizzes can be put into a lock mode that students have basically less stress put on a quiz. The visual quality of these same quizzes can even be intensified to where students that have better understanding of visual learning can have their quizzes made into more visually enhanced quizzes. The pictures can be enhanced and so on like that, that students can better understand and comprehend what they're looking at. And again, we go back to the differentiation with the different classrooms and whatnot. Students are able to have their work put in front of them the way they need to see it. Teachers are able to differentiate among their students in a simpler manner. Instead of printing 25 different types of tests, Google Classroom can be modified per student to help them in their own way. Parents are much more able to get involved with their students' lives inside of school with Google Classroom. Parents are able to log in to Google Classroom as well and receive daily or even weekly updates. There's a text my phone feature, I believe, that the teacher is able to send the code to each parent, and then they're able to sign up for the text feature. They know, hey, my student went through this, this, and this today at school, and you can go on and view it, see how they did, if anything needs to be addressed to solve a problem that might come up. And if anything is a problem, the parent then has the option to intervene earlier than had a teacher waited to grade a paper manually, find the problem, address the parent, set up a conference, so on. The parents are able to converse with the teacher right there on Google Classroom, just like the digital parking lot for students. The teachers are able to converse with the parents in the same way regarding any issue that might be coming up with their student. And this just further involves the parents to really engage in their students' lives inside of school, their curriculum, their scores, their academics, everything, and so on. I'm sorry. The parents are really able to engage in their students in this way. And just an example that I thought of were, say your student is having a lot of issues with math, and you see an update come up that your student failed their math test. With the Google Classroom alerts, you're then able to see the area that needs focused on. You're able to discuss with the teacher right there on Google Classroom as well. What can we do to help my child? How can we increase the quality of their schooling? How can we enhance this learning and really make sure they are getting the tools and the help that they need? And so that's a really good feature, that parents are able to engage with their students and intervene early to avoid any type of academic failures. Google Classroom is really easy to create. Just a little simple how-to. You will just go to classroom.google.com. There will be in the top corner a plus sign that says create class or create classroom. You'll just go in there, click that you are a teacher, enter your classroom name, and then it is optional if you would like to include a description, a subject, and a location of your classroom, and then you'll simply click create. And then from here, you will be given an automatically generated classroom code that you will share with your students and your parents, and allow them, and it allows you to invite them to add themselves to the classroom. And then from there, you have your classroom created, you have your students in line the way they need to be. Everything is there, and then from this point you'll be able to edit the basic design of your classroom, the functions of your classroom. You can move around the folders or anything to kind of just like dive in and really divulge in all of the all that there is to offer in Google Classroom. You'll be able to do all of that editing once you have created, and it's really a great tool. And I am really excited to learn more about it. Here's some of my works cited. I just went through a few different blogs and articles and found all of this really important stuff that I think would be really great. And I just can't wait to use Google Classroom in my own classroom someday. I can see how wonderful of a tool and resource it actually is. And I hope that this PowerPoint also gave you the information you need. Thank you.